I always knew my family didn't value me the way they valued my sister, but I never imagined just how far their betrayal could go. That truth finally revealed itself on the night of my 27th birthday, the night everything in my life changed. I had spent weeks preparing for the celebration. I decorated the house with soft lights and flowers, ordered food, arranged a playlist, and bought myself a beautiful birthday dress, something elegant, something that made me feel seen. I wanted, for once, a day that belonged to me. When the guests arrived, they smiled warmly, handing me gifts and telling me how lovely I looked. For a brief moment, I felt appreciated. I thought, maybe this year will be different. Maybe they'll finally see me. Then my sister walked in. She arrived late, as always, making an entrance like she was the star of the night. The moment she noticed people complimenting me, her smile stiffened. Her expression shifted sharply, the jealousy unmistakable. She walked toward me, leaned in, and whispered just loud enough for me to hear, "Why does everything have to be about you?" Before I could respond, she grabbed the front of my dress and ripped it straight down the middle. The room froze. I stood there clutching the torn fabric, my cheeks burning, my heart sinking. Guests gasped. A few whispered. I felt exposed and humiliated on my own birthday. And then the worst part happened. My parents rushed toward us, not to comfort me, not to scold her, but to defend her. "Sophia, calm down," my mother scolded. "She didn't mean it." "It's just a dress," my father added. "Don't make a scene." I wasn't just embarrassed, I was invisible. In a room full of people, I felt completely alone. After the party, I went to my room, holding the torn dress as if it were a symbol of everything I had endured for years. I changed into something plain, sat on my bed, and tried not to cry. I kept asking myself, how can they treat me like this after everything I've done for them? Why does no one ever see what I give? Because the truth they never knew, what I never told anyone, was that for the past 3 years, I had been paying for everything. I covered my sister's entire college tuition, books, late fees, everything. I paid the household bills, electricity, gas, groceries, internet because my parents were struggling. I even helped with their medical expenses, and I never said a word about it because I believed that was what family did. I thought love meant sacrifice. But to them, sacrifice just meant me. Suddenly, there was a knock on my door. My father walked in without waiting for a response. He didn't ask how I felt. He didn't ask why my dress was torn. Instead, he sighed in disappointment and said, "Sophia, you embarrassed your sister tonight. You should apologize." I stared at him in disbelief. Apologize? For what she did to me? He folded his arms. "You always overreact. She was being playful. Stop acting like a victim." Something inside me cracked. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet but final. That was the moment I realized they didn't just take me for granted, they depended on me and still treated me like I didn't matter. So I opened my banking app and made a decision that would change everything. I stopped every payment, college fees canceled, utility bills canceled, groceries and subscriptions canceled. I packed 2 bags in the middle of the night, one with clothes, one with documents, and walked out without leaving a note. I left silently, the same way they had walked over my feelings for years. My new studio apartment wasn't fancy, but it was peaceful. The silence felt strange at first, then comforting. For the first time in years, the air around me felt safe. Back at my parents' house, however, silence didn't last long. Within 48 hours, service providers began contacting me. "Your electricity payment has failed. Your internet auto pay declined. Tuition overdue, immediate action required." I sat on my small bed reading each message, feeling a mixture of sadness and liberation. Finally, the weight was no longer on my shoulders. Soon the calls from my family started. First my mom, then my dad, then my sister. I ignored them all, but the real shock came in the form of an email from the bank. "Loan repayment reminder. Account under your name." I frowned. Loan? What loan? When I opened the attachment, my hands trembled. It was a large student loan taken using my name, my documents, my identity. My sister had done it. She forged my signature. She stole my information. She put thousands of dollars under my name without telling me. Anger didn't just rise, it roared. That was the final betrayal. Meanwhile, at my parents' home, everything was collapsing. The lights went out, the internet was cut, groceries ran low, college threatened suspension, and for the first time, my parents weren't yelling at me. They were yelling at my sister. And then the video leaked. A guest had recorded my sister ripping my dress and posted it online with the caption, "This is what jealousy looks like." The clip went viral in our neighborhood. People commented brutally. Her friends stopped talking to her. Her boyfriend left her. My sister, the golden child, was suddenly the villain. Days later, the fraud investigation department called me. They confirmed that the loan wasn't taken by me. "Someone close to you forged the documents," the officer said. "Do you know who it might be?" I closed my eyes. "Yes, my younger sister." "We'll be sending legal notices soon," he said. "You will not be held responsible." That evening, my parents showed up at my apartment. Their faces looked broken. "Sophia, please," my mother begged. "Your sister could face criminal charges." "Just tell them it was a misunderstanding," my father pleaded. "Save her. You always save her." I shook my head. "Who saved me?" They didn't have an answer. I wasn't protecting her anymore. Soon, legal notices arrived. My sister sent me voice messages full of screaming, crying, blaming, but it wasn't my doing. She had dug her own hole. Meanwhile, my life bloomed. Freed from emotional suffocation, I threw myself into my work. My boss noticed my efforts and promoted me. I started recording small videos about self-worth and healing. One went viral. My follower count exploded. A wellness brand offered me my first sponsorship. It paid more than I had ever earned in a month of saving. My peace was no longer temporary. It was permanent. Months passed. My sister faced the consequences of her actions. My parents regretted everything, but I no longer carried the weight of their choices. Then one afternoon, I received a letter from a scholarship foundation connected to my company. "Your resilience and dedication have inspired us. We are awarding you a full professional scholarship." I sat on my couch, smiling quietly. My family tried to break me. My sister tried to steal from me. But life gave me a comeback they never expected. I stood up, looked around my peaceful home, and whispered to myself, "This time I choose me.